Had to rep Georgia today,
That's right.
Game week.
Oh, really? Already?
Saturday.
No
Georgia
shit.
Clemson, Saturday. Come on, man.
Hey,
Don't worry. It'll be talked about on Monday. Probably. I'll do my best over the course of the season to not aggravatingly make this a sports podcast.
All right, you get 5 minutes.
yeah.
5 minutes Georgia week.
Set a timer, be like, over. Like, JT Daniels.
They call it 5 good minutes on PTO. Be like, 5 bad.
5 sports minutes. Went rambling. Okay, guys, I'm going to talk really fast. It's 5 minutes, so hold on.
3, 4. I've practiced my lines.
Yeah. 1/3 of my notes, just Georgia's football.
I practiced my monologue for that type post thing over and over again. I had to cut it in half because it's so fucking long.
Damn.
I thought I was much faster. Hello, cheers, and welcome to From Behind the Barcast, the podcast for bartending, service industry, and filling up your mom with good ideas on how to act at a restaurant.
Of course.
I mean that. Yeah. What?
You have to educate your parents and family. It could have been anything.
Could have been anything, right? Yeah. No. Today we are able to be found on Anchor FM, and you can hit the message button, put your email in, and leave us a message. It's right there on.
That'd
the
be crazy.
page.
I wonder if that'll work for anyone.
That's crazy. Maybe I'll put out a tutorial this week. We're at From Behind the Barcast on Instagram and Facebook, and our email is FromBehindTheBarcast@gmail.com. P.O. Box 191, Tybee Island, Georgia 31328. If you want to send us any fun shit. And before we get started, we're drinking Moscow Mule again.
Moscow Mule, but with a different ginger beer.
Different ginger beer with a little
beer
chili spice. And what I noticed right when we walked up here, I think Clint's got about 8 more ounces of girth to his.
Yes, I do.
To his mule.
Speaking of filling your mom up, mine actually has an ex-girlfriend bought this for me. Has a K on there for
Carl.
King. For King.
Oh, yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Sure. She got it from my dad, and I stole it from him. Yours doesn't say anything.
Mine's got an X on it.
But I didn't think you'd spill it. I'd say it's on the bottom. But
What do you mean?
I've got a 64-ounce one.
One of these? What are these called? What are these called?
A copper mug.
And their name for it? Like when you have them at the Kentucky Derby?
A copper Kentucky mug?
Really? Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe there is. I'm not a big derby guy.
A julep something?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't either.
Are you telling me there's not a fucking very specific
Jamie had showed up, we could have had her answer.
Damn, yeah. We were going to have a Googler tonight, and I was going to put him on my old typewriter to help us out.
He misunderstood alcohol was a factor.
But more importantly, before we get started, I just want to let you know that I'm a local. Okay?
Yeah. Well, I want to let you know why we're drinking these is because my tummy's upset.
Oh, he's got a runny bottom.
Yes.
That's right.
I had a runny bottom, but now
I'm fine.
But there's like chili in this, and my stomach's like, hey.
So
remember when you shouldn't have done anything bad to yourself? Mm-hmm.
On the notes of the can, it says extracts of chili, coriander, lime, and something else. And Clint didn't know that's what they call cilantro in England.
It's coriander.
Now, the seed of the cilantro plant is a coriander seed, but them crazy Brits, they call it all fucking coriander.
I don't want any coriander in my pho.
Yeah, and you ever had a fucking aubergine? Yeah, you have, because it's a fucking eggplant.
Actually, that's my least favorite vegetable.
Really?
Is aubergines.
Is an aubergine?
Is aubergines from Alaska.
But you love courgettes.
I do.
Zucchini. Fucking Brits. Anyways, just so that you know, I am a local.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, I'm a local. Okay. I know it's weird me telling you that because you have never seen me before. Yeah,
and I've been here
and
my whole life.
You've been here your whole life, but trust me, I'm a local. Also, I want you to know something else. I'm in the service industry. Okay.
Oh, okay. So that means you're going to take care of me really well,
I just want to start off by letting you know that 1, I'm a local. And 2, that I'm in the service industry.
At the beginning of a conversation, that means this is going to go great. This experience is going to be amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything's going to be smooth.
Man, I'm glad you told me that because now I know how amazing you're going to be.
You're not going to do anything weird.
A local service industry? Man, how did I not know either
They also tell you, hey, I'm going to pay our tab. I'm a big tipper.
Yeah.
That's always a good one, too. And I'm like, ugh.
That's the same guy that's like, you don't seem like you're enjoying sex. Is my dick too big?
Yeah.
No, that's not what it is,
buddy.
That's
not what it is, buddy. That's not what it is.
Like you.
It's probably something different than that.
Yeah, it's
not filling up your mom right.
This guy came in the other day, and I sort of recognized him, but I think I recognize some people that I really don't. I mean, we all do that. A lot of white people look the same.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like 50% of Asians look the same.
Yeah,
But so this guy came in and he ordered 2 pizzas. So up until about 2 years ago, our pizzas were $15 a piece, right?
Right.
But 2 years ago, 2 calendar years ago, from today until they were $15, it's been 2 years.
2 years.
This guy comes in the other day.
Today's the 2-year anniversary.
Yeah, today's
of the
the
menu
2-year
change.
anniversary of us changing from $15 to $20.
August 30th. Good day to change the menu.
Good day, right? So this guy comes in and he orders 2 pizzas, and I bring him out and I give him his check, and he was like, $44. He had a drink too, whatever. I was like, yeah, what's up? He goes, I thought your pizzas were $15. I was like, oh yeah, they were like 2 years ago. He goes, well, not even for locals, because I'm a local. I was like, no.
Did we ever do a local?
Did we ever?
discount?
Yeah. Everyone's a fucking local, obviously, and our prices don't change. I mean, they might go up.
Yeah.
If I don't like
That's
you.
just happy hour.
yeah. I know the happy hour that doesn't exist. I'm sure I've said it on the podcast before, but I just did it like a week ago too. Someone was like, "You charged me $3 for the same thing." You're like, yeah. I was like, "Oh, happy hour's over.
Happy hour's
it's
over.
$4."
Yeah. It's Saturday night at 1:30 in the morning.
But yeah, he was like, "Well, my brother used to work here, and they were always $15." I was like, "I know who you're talking about," and he left. I don't know. 2 years ago, Mr. Local.
Yeah. Don't you know that he's been gone? And that when he was here, did you get a local discount?
Was there a local discount?
You did not. You may have gotten a free piece of pizza from your brother, but not a discount when you paid for things you should have been paying for.
That already cost one thing.
Yeah, and telling me you're a local just means to me it's not gonna go well. Because like, if there's places on Tybee that do like a locals discount, like the Grill,
but they're gonna give it to you if they know that you're a local, not because you tell them.
But I've never one time been like, I'm a local.
You don't have
Because and like I've gotten my Tathaghet Stingrays one time and was like, oh, no local discount, and I just looked at it and I didn't say anything.
Who cares?
Because the $5 difference it would have been isn't a big deal.
Yeah.
And I paid, and the girl's like, oh, aren't you Charlotte's brother? I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I should have given you a local. I'll throw you a drink. I'm like, it's not a big deal.
It's totally
I'm happy to patronize this business completely.
Well, at Stingrays, the first time I ever got a check, but because I like the first like 5 years I lived down here, I just didn't go there. It always seemed too busy or whatever. Well, one day I went in there for something, and it was sort of like in the afternoon or whatever. It was slow, and I knew the bartenders and all that shit.
So you know.
Well, they gave me the check, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" They were like, "Oh, we have a locals discount. We just don't tell anyone unless they're fucking local, you know."
I'm sure people still that got it one time because they were like they had told somebody they just moved there, and then they went back and they didn't know who they were, and they were like,
but I have the receipt from last time.
I brought it with me, and here's my driver's license that says Tybee Island.
I took a picture of me in that day's newspaper.
Yeah, from Tybee. What they're doing with the ivermectin thing now, because idiots keep taking horse dewormer as a cure for COVID. Instead of getting the vaccine, they're taking ivermectin as a treatment because it's out there that it may help prophylactically if given to you by a doctor, not by you buying it from a feed store.
So you can't boof it, and it won't
for a horse. Probably not. It's meant to get worms out of you, so it just rips your insides out basically
Nice.
when you're taking a dose for something that's 5 times your size. But I saw a thing on Reddit today. It was like, you must provide a picture of yourself and your horse to buy this. Of you with the horse.
Yeah. Is that like diatom dust? You know what diatom dust is?
Yeah. So, with ivermectin and all other dewormers, you're supposed to rotate them.
Yeah.
So you don't give your horse the same treatment in a row. You change it so there's not parasitic evolution and resistance forms.
I mean, I treat my horse differently every time I address it.
Yeah, he's a horse of a different color.
I was at. Speaking of locals, sort of. I was at the bank the other day, and a local. He's definitely a local.
Did you tell the banker? I'm a local.
Hey guys, I'm local. But I was in the bank, and so everything, like the whole COVID thing is starting to change a little bit. Like, so I pack a mask whenever I go anywhere, just in case. But like, I go to the grocery store, I don't fucking put it on because I don't care. But the bank is a little more enclosed, and like I don't get to see the ladies at a bank the bank a lot because I have an ATM out here on the island that accepts my cash deposits.
So you're not there very often.
So I don't, but I had a check from the Post Theater the other night that I wanted to deposit, and I walked in, I had it over my shoulder, I saw everyone was masked, so I was like, fuck it, yeah, whatever. It's I always, even when the mask was mandated like all over, I would still walk in so that they could see my face first.
And be like, hey,
and then I put it on before I get. Yeah, because like
I kind of like wearing a mask in a bank. I was like, it's kind of right? Mask, sunglasses on. I'm like, I feel like I'm breaking the law.
But it's weird though. Before the mask thing, they started making you take your hat off.
Yeah, and now they're like, cover half your face, please.
Now they're like,
you can literally walk in with a bandana on like a bank robber in the 1800s.
Yeah, because my mask is like one of the neck gaiter things.
Yeah,
it's not like the surgical mask or whatever.
Right.
It's already around my neck, and I just pull it up. Whatever. So it's real outlaw fucking bank robber.
Yeah,
shit.
you feel like.
Yeah. So, anyways, so I'm in there, and I hear a familiar voice behind me, and things are a little slow in there. I had like two people in front of me, and I hear this familiar voice behind me, and I was like, "Oh Jesus, I don't want to talk to this guy." So I make sure I'm facing the teller. And
you don't think to wear headphones into the bank?
I don't wear headphones. That's the only place that I don't.
Yeah,
wear
but grocery store, headphones, sunglasses, mask, hat.
As much as
I'm in disguise.
I'm a fucking I'm like fucking Assassin's Creed.
I'll fake I'm on the phone sometimes, and be like, I'm like, hey, I'm on the phone with my friend in Afghanistan.
I've done the fake phone so many times. Oh, what's up? Yeah. Sometimes that doesn't even work.
Yeah, people are like, hey, I'm like, where's the phone? I'm on the phone,
dude. I'll be taking orders on the phone at work, and people come up and like tug on my shirt and shit. I'm like. I'm staring at them with the fucking phone up to my face like, do you want to talk to them?
Yeah, here.
Are you expecting a call?
I'll make you a drink if you take this order.
Like, what the fuck, man? So anyways, so he goes in, and I have no headphones, so I can hear everything. And he's like, fuck the mask. But, whatever. I don't care. Whatever. So he goes, and the unfortunate lady that every bank has that has to sit out with a desk without walls around it.
Yeah, no protection from society.
Like the loan, whatever they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're account setups and stuff like that.
Whatever, yeah. So that unlucky person, and when you think about the banking industry, it's the most service industry, customer service oriented place. Like they can't be fucking shitty to anyone.
Yeah.
Because I've been in the bank and dudes have been fucking awful.
Oh, I've seen some people going ham in there. I'm like, whoa.
And the ladies are just like, I understand, sir. Yes, sir. I understand, sir. Like because
everything's on camera. Right, everything is being recorded. It's being done everywhere in the bank.
Exactly. Yeah. So anytime I have the app, I rate it 5 stars like every time I can because the ladies are like so fucking nice and they deal with such fucking jerk offs. So it takes. I'm in there about 10 minutes maybe because of how many people were in there and like depositing a check from a place that I've never deposited a check from. Right. Shit just takes time or whatever. That entire time I was in there, he conducted no business at the bank. This guy that came in, he did not conduct a bit of business. He also had his dog with him.
And I'm going to guess not a service dog.
Not a service dog.
Was it well behaved at least?
It was well behaved, yeah. But unleashed as well.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I don't know what so anyway.
They're real. I'd have been like, hey.
Yeah, I don't, man, but see, it's the fucking bank, dude.
But I mean, I feel like just for safety of getting sued, you don't want a dog loose in a bank, I mean,
there are cameras there, so if the dog did do anything,
yeah,
be like, look at this. I don't know.
And they have direct access to his money if you have to sue him.
Yeah, right.
I don't have any money. Oh, sure you don't.
I hope he banks there because he might not even fucking bank there.
You seem like the kind of guy that doesn't have a bank.
No, but this is the type of guy that he was, and this describes him perfectly. And I know a lot of people like this. It's the person that doesn't have any real friends that like them.
Right.
They don't have anyone to interact with because no one wants to interact with them because they suck. Generally.
Mm-hmm. I know the type.
So there's like 4 industries where you can go and force a conversation with the people that are there because they have to talk to you in some sort of capacity.
Yeah, that's true.
Lest they lose their job or whatever. So this guy goes into this bank because he knows the manager and the tellers have to talk to him because he banks with them or whatever. So he just goes in.
To have a conversation.
Because no one else wants to have a goddamn conversation with him.
So he can force a conversation.
Just because
maybe his dog is a conversational topic.
Hey, look at my dog. He don't got COVID.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whatever.
He ain't wearing a mask.
So another situation, and I asked the girl, Amy, that cuts my hair. I was like, how many people sit, like, yeah, and
I think we talked about this before.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, stuff. Like how many people come in here and go, what about that Biden? Or, what about that Trump? Or this COVID virus is bullshit or whatever. And like, I was like, how do you address that? Like shit that you don't want to talk to them about. But
topics you shouldn't discuss with.
That you shouldn't discuss in a
professional setting.
Yeah, exactly. Or even just socially, unless they're your friends.
And you know how they're not going to get offended by whatever you're saying.
Exactly. Or they care to hear your stupid fucking opinion.
Yes.
Or your smart opinion.
Yeah.
Like, so, man, when I'm working, even if someone's enlightening me on something, if it's about certain things that are gonna trigger other people to fucking chime in. I don't know, politics, religion. You know what I mean?
Sports.
Yeah.
Well, sports are your stuff. Yeah, of course.
But I avoid that as much as I can. You know what I mean?
Just don't want
I just don't want to be a part of none of that shit. No one's gonna learn any goddamn thing across the bar or across the bank teller's line or in the chair at the fucking. At the hairdresser.
Yeah. You're not going to come to some kind of new conclusion about your feelings. You're going to change the way you felt before you started that conversation.
Not in that setting.
No.
You know, the only thing that'll change is how much you dislike that person.
Especially with alcohol and fueling the fire of your preconceived notions and thoughts.
Do people come and sit at the bar or even at a table in there and like try and discuss like non sequitur shit like that with you?
I mean, we talked about Mark. He'll talk to you forever. Because he doesn't have a lot of friends, so he likes to talk.
So do you have people that come in there like?
But Mark doesn't talk about he doesn't talk about controversial things. He's too scared of life.
No, but he comes in. What I meant was people that come in that purely come in. I mean, yeah, they order food or a drink or whatever.
He's there because he wants to talk to people.
But he needs someone to talk to because no one likes him and no one wants to talk to him, and his dog won't talk to him, and his mother wrote him off a million.
Yeah,
years
pretty
ago.
much that's what it is. Because when he has the rare chance, I waited on him when he had friends in, but I've only seen him with friends like 3 times. And I've seen him 50 times.
You've never seen him repeat with those same friends.
Not for sure, not with like that. And there's a couple people do that. Some people come in when someone's alone. I'm like, okay, either they're going to read a book, play on their phone, or just stare at everything. I guess.
Yeah, and kind of like as you walk by, like
yeah. But most of the people don't want a deep conversation either. They just want.
So if they bring in a book.
Yeah, you know, talk to them. Unless they're like, I'm going to be here all night. And I'm like, no.
No, you're not. Yeah.
Liar.
But at least they like, so there's people that have come in alone to my bar, and they just, for whatever reason, they either answer emails or read a book with a beer, and they like I guess it's like a alcoholic coffee shop.
Yeah,
like people go to
energy around you.
People go to, some people enjoy that, you know what I mean? Me personally, if I'm doing anything like that, I either need fucking complete silence and like be alone in my room or in the office up here, or I got a fucking podcast in if I'm doing something like physical.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But like, I couldn't read a fucking book.
I couldn't read a book at a bar. I'm just too distracted too easily.
And like, if I'm trying to look at my phone, contact anyone with anything pertinent, like if someone asks me like, hey, tomorrow, could we do this at this time?
You want to focus on it and not be...
Yeah.
And eating with a book is also not conducive because usually you need both of your hands to eat most things.
Yeah.
Because you just get sushi.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, reading a book in a restaurant is kind of odd. I don't get a lot of that. But like, I do get the couple that's been together for 750 years.
They don't care to talk to each other.
No, so I now have to talk to both of them about whatever crappy topic they want to discuss. And they're always happy to tell you how long they've been married, anniversary or not.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, okay. Go. And you have to get, if someone's like, oh, we married 50 years. I'm like, oh, would you get married when you were 15? You look great. And like, you get a little suckle. The same. I feel there's some nights though where you're just not feeling it and you just don't have to be at work because you like your job. So I'm like, thank God I've done this 100 other times with this same goddamn conversation.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And the couples that hate each other so much that they both want to talk to you at the same time, and they pretend like they don't hear each other speaking at you at the same time.
They'll start both talking to you.
And they don't get it's like they've become so numb and deaf to each other.
They don't hear each other.
They don't fucking hear each other.
But they want you to hear both of them.
But and then they'll like try and argue they'll argue with each other through you.
Yes. Oh, about food. Like I'm like, hey, they're like, should I get A or B? And I'm like, I can surprise you. And like, no, which one would you get?
Tell him he doesn't want the roast cheeseburger.
Yeah. Tell him he wants to get this instead of this. I'm like, well, why don't you get that? And like, usually, most good people that are on a date that are semi-compassionate for who they're with, like if it's the wife's birthday and she's like, I'm between the trout and the duck. Most smart men go, she gets duck, I now get trout. We will share. I like to share. If I'm with you eating dinner, like. There's going to be a discussion about something we're going to share.
I think anytime I've ever gone out with an SO or a friend or, like, say, a group of 4 people, and we're all like, ooh, this looks good. All right, let's get all of them.
All of that, and just share them, yeah.
And then we just share them.
Yeah, I'm a big sharer. Because I'm already out with you, then, we probably...
Yeah. We're getting a few
We've already kissed a few times.
Yeah, right, exactly.
No matter who you are.
No matter who you are.
Even my dog. Doesn't like to give kisses, thank God. I'm not a big dog kisser because dogs are kind of...
Because they're not fucking kisses. When people call a dog licking your mouth and your face kisses...
It's not a kiss.
That's not a kiss. I don't know where you get your kissing from.
Yeah.
That's not a kiss.
Next time somebody makes out with you, try to just lick their face.
That's fucking cunnilingus.
Yeah.
Facial cunnilingus, man.
Yeah, I cuddle my dog in the morning. I'll give him a little kiss, but he's like, he doesn't lick my face. I don't want him to kiss me back. Yeah. I'm kissing him.
That's my kiss your dog on the head and on the face, and that's an actual kiss.
He shows you affection in different ways. It's not licking your face. I mean, it might be, but like it's probably because you just have
peanut butter.
You got salty face. Is what's going on. Like come over from the beach, my dog's like licking my legs. He's like, "Ooh, what is that?" Like, nothing. You're not going to go out there and get your big ass in that water.
Do you ever have not like going out with coworkers, but like do you ever have coworkers that have come in while you're working and like not tip you? Like I saw this on the Facebook page the other day, and it was like there's this one guy who he works the day shift, like serving, and then gets off work and sits at the bar, drinks for the rest of the night, and doesn't tip the. Now, see, I would handle that internally.
I would definitely handle that internally. But shaming somebody publicly sometimes is better.
But I don't think they fucking called him out like legit. They were just like person A.
Person who does this should not do this. So I don't hang out with my coworkers very often where I work. I mean, I'm friendly with them. We'll talk on the phone, but like I don't go out to drink with them a lot or eat with them a lot because they all live downtown. I live on the island. I don't go downtown a whole lot in my spare time.
Yeah.
But where other places I've worked, I've had people come in and like I usually be like, hey, don't overly tip me. Just tip me 20, 25%.
Right.
Keep it regular. But like I've had owners that I've worked for that we'd wait on them and they wouldn't tip you. My current owners, obviously, all their food, you comp their food because it needs to be in the system.
Well, yeah.
You charge them a penny, and they tip you on it. And they tip you very well.
Yeah, of course.
But
I mean, I think, of course.
Where I work now, but then like I worked at a restaurant that I opened the restaurant, it was a mom and pop kind of thing.
Yeah.
So they would come in, one of the owners would come in and eat, and they would tip us 20% because that's all they could afford at the time. I'm sure they do more now.
Yeah, because they were just opening.
I understood all of that.
But at least they goddamn tipped you.
Yeah, and I had a job there, so they weren't shutting down by tipping me too much money. But yeah, you got to, I mean, they're coworkers. That's a dick move.
But see, and like we were talking about the Karen kiosk the other week, that kiosk, even though there's no employees there, is asking you to tip, which is basically asking you to tip the fucking owners, which is like.
Oh, I hate that. Like that. What's the other one that does it? That's like. You go to Starbucks, I guess you tip for coffee. I don't drink a lot of coffee, but coffee shops you tip. But then where was it? I went one day and they were like, there was a tip line, and I was like,
no.
Like I was like somewhere, like it wasn't like a bank or like a McDonald's, but it was something along those lines.
So
where I was like,
this is not a tipping place.
I don't tip for this. Like I get to-go food, I tip.
Yeah,
but,
of course,
because they have to bag it up and stuff.
Well, and normally the to-go tip goes to the kitchen, so like, and the kitchen's not going to get that much anyway. So
and like even when I go get sushi to go, and it's the only place where I don't tip everybody 25%. So I get 15 to the server and 15% or more to the sushi guy.
Right.
Because that's a very
especially if you're sitting at the sushi bar.
If I sit at the bar, he's getting.
They're getting
he's getting
that
hooked
jar.
up.
Yeah.
And I'm drinking sake with them.
Some places I guess you just got a Jesus tip. You know what I mean? If they're expecting
Jesus tip. So if you don't follow us on Instagram, check out
because there's funny stuff.
There's funny stuff up there. My reel from yesterday. I got a tip from table 33, seat 4 on Wednesday. 3 women. They were first they were in the bar, and there was 2 of them, and the last one showed up, and then it was like the reservation was at 6. So at 6:25, the hostess didn't know they were over there. So she canceled the reservation as a no-show. You get an alert when you make your reservation on Open Table. So the woman calls from the bar to the hostess stand.
Fuck off.
30 feet away through a wall. And it's like, I'm in the bar waiting for you to come get us. So then she proceeds to get mad at the bartender, who she never told she had a reservation. She's almost my Karen, really.
Yeah.
But she was one of the women did this. So this is not the Jesus woman. I don't know which one was rude to him.
Okay, I got you.
So I warm them back up. They're having an okay time. They didn't spend a bunch of money. They each had their own tab, whatever. Yeah. So her tab was like $80. In my tip, I get 10% and a card that says 3 nails plus 1 cross equals 3 nails plus 1 cross equals 4 given. And with a little Bible verse and some stuff about Jesus on the back. And if you can be religious, but your religion is not a fucking tip.
No.
I know about Jesus. You're not telling me some new shit.
And you fetishizing a guy getting nails put through him and hung
is
up
a little
to
weird.
die is a little fucking weird. Like, this is what we love. Fucking BDSM with nails.
Yeah. He died for our sins. Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah.
You're forgiven. How do you know they didn't use 4 nails? You know.
3 plus. I know, right?
What? You don't know? Maybe he had long legs. I don't know. They had to get him up there right.
I've seen the ones before where a portion of the pamphlet, just enough to stick out of a hostess book or a server's booklet.
Oh yeah.
It looks like a $20 bill,
and you pull it out,
and then you slide it out, and it goes, Jesus saves
something. Yeah. Jesus is what is it? Jesus gives you more than any financial wealth could. Blah blah blah. Like,
Jesus saves, and so did I, because I didn't spend $20.
Yeah, exactly. There's it's like tells you that the love of Christ is more valuable than any monetary amount.
Is it?
Like, you know what? You're going to need some Jesus. You come back in here again with that shit. There used to be these ladies in Savannah called...
You are going to need Jesus.
I don't know if this is an international thing or a national club. They were called...
I was going to wonder that because we talked about it before the podcast.
Pink Hat ladies. Yeah. And I know there was like a local chapter in Savannah, and they would come in with various pink hats on and pink clothes, and there'd be between 6 to 10 of them. And they figured out that if they were in a large group, auto-grab. So they would make 2 reservations for 4 and 5 or whatever. They would get their group numbers down so they didn't tip you. And they would not tip you.
Yeah, but you knew who they were because they had like gang colors
gang
on,
colors,
right?
yeah.
They had like all pink hats or whatever, right? So it's like, who the fuck do you think you're fooling?
So they would sit at the table next to each other. So restaurants caught on and would be like, you're
I know, you're all wearing a pink hat.
Because they would screw your servers, like $1 on like 50. And they'd all split checks. They were a pain in the ass. They thought it was a gift to you for them to be in your establishment.
For their presence,
and they were just not. No, they weren't nice. Like 1 or 2 would be nice.
What was their service to the place?
I don't know what the hell they were doing in society. They were for the most part, from what I said, they were mostly like rich husbands' wives that didn't work. They were out for lunch or dinner.
The ladies who lunch,
and they would come in and like opening time, like they were like early bird specials.
Of course,
you know, there was any discount they could get.
Fucking course,
like I have worked a lot of places that had coupons, but 1 or 2 times they'd come in with the coupon, and I'm like, all right,
of course,
all right, you got your
if
coupon.
we get here between 4 and 4:15, we get $1 off.
Yeah, any amount they can save,
anything,
anything. Or like a happy hour ends at 6. At 5:58, they're like 2 glasses of wine
and check out
and check out right now. And I'm like, and then hang out for an hour.
Oh, of course, yeah. Then squat on the table.
Just the
forever,
worst, the worst kind of people.
So were they like, because like, all right,
they were white ladies. If you weren't confused about this, was a gang of black ladies doing it. Was a bunch of.
Did they leave Christian like Jesus tips too, or was it not like
they
were they affiliated?
They would do some of that as well too. They were all religious people.
Well, because I'm wondering what their fucking service was to everyone. Like, are they spreading some kind of gospel, or are they just spreading
the gospel of Karens?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah. Karen verse fuck you.
Yeah, commandment 1.
Karen verse 3 nails plus 1 4
equals you're a fucking twat.
Yeah, you're 4 twats.
Yeah, I had a buddy. This is sort of like on the Jesus tip thing, but it's not a tip. It's like this is where
it wasn't a tip. It's not a tip.
This is the one time Jesus helped someone. Hot take, I know. So a buddy of mine, and this is back in the day of like pay phones, right? He was dating this like super Christian, not dating her, but like he was like sort of hooking up with this super Christian girl because for some weird reason, if you repress the sexuality of your sons and daughters when they're very young, they start fucking way earlier than you would imagine that they would because you repress the fuck out of them.
Oh man!
So this dude got caught with this Christian-ish hookup girl, and they kicked him out of the house. They came home.
They were under 18.
Yeah, they were under 18. Yeah, and they came home and they're like, "What the fuck are you doing here, Jesmeralda?" And fucking
his parents or her parents?
Her parents.
Ooh, it's always rough getting caught with her parents.
So they kick him out and they're like, "You're never to see that boy again," right? So he waits a couple days and he goes to all right. So I guess they had like caller ID or something like that, probably.
Yeah.
So he wasn't calling from his home phone.
Nice.
So he was going to call from a payphone, right? So he went to call from a payphone, and the father answered and. He goes, "Hey, is Jesmeralda there?" He goes, "Yeah, 1 second." Like, so he's like, "Okay, good." Like, whatever. He comes back on the phone. He goes, "Hey, Steven, this is her father. I know that's you. Da-da-da-da-da. That why the fuck are you calling here? This and that, whatever." So he's scrambling, right? He's like, duh. there's a tiny fucking miniature Bible on top of the payphone because the Jehovah's leave them everywhere or whatever, right? So he pulls it down and he goes, I just wanted to call because I read this verse the other day and it really spoke to me. And he's fumbling through the fucking book.
He's trying to find a verse of any kind of relevance.
And he's like, he goes, I was just thinking of Leviticus 32:11. Where God said the sin of man is the sin of God and the sin of God is the sin of man. And we said, he was fucking her like a week later. It was nice.
That's great. God, Jesus saved.
Jesus saved, man.
Jesus saved.
He saved his booty call. Well, on that fucking.
I want to follow up.
Please do.
So I surprisingly got in trouble a lot when I was younger because I was a shit kid. That's weird. So when I'm on restriction, where I could go though. Wednesday night church stuff, like, youth group stuff, because they were like, well, this will save Clint. Obviously, Jesus can do it.
Of course.
Hey, spoiler alert. Things didn't go as planned. So I would date church girls. I would hang out with church girls. And when I was 14, I was probably the worst I ever was. So I was on restriction all the damn time.
Yeah, right.
But there was our associate pastor came in. His name was David something, not Koresh.
Damn it.
I know.
Been super interesting.
So he had a daughter who was a year or two younger than me or whatever.
You're right.
And like you said, tried to repress sexuality. She would, I warmed up to her and she was like an animal. So we would get away and go down the halls and make out or whatever.
Finger each other's butts.
And, well, speaking of fingering, so we'd have to go, they'd have a service Sunday night, so we'd have youth group at 6 and then service. So we'd sit together and hold hands in the back. And this preacher's daughter let me finger her in the pew during service. Pew, pew, pew. Pew, 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 pew. Son. It was no pew, pew. It was, but it was so she's just got her head down on the pew in front of her. And I'm just, we were 14. Anytime you can touch a part of a woman,
that Jesus tip. She knew what you did when you were 14 years old.
2 fingers.
2 fingers, 1 vagina.
1 vagina.
3 minutes in the pew, baby.
You are not forgiven. You are not forgiven.
That was a Jesus threesome.
And she got pregnant when she was 16. Not me.
That's what they call that, the Jesus threesome.
The Jesus threesome?
You, her, and Jesus.
Me, her, and Jesus?
In the pew.
What a pervert. They're always watching, right?
Exactly. You know why she was
Jesus,
horny?
Lord, and Santa Claus watching you finger your.
She was so horny because she was looking up at a bloody stump on the wall.
Yeah, she was like, "Oh, that poor guy."
That's what it is.
I'll get forgiven, so let's just do this.
They fetishized the bloody.
Yeah, the Methodist Church was good to her.
Well, that was super fun the first half.
Yeah, a lot of our religious episode. Cheers to Jesus.
Cheers to Jesus. We'll see you in a minute.
Well,
you just gotta. That's how you sink it.
If you don't scream like a mad Klingon,
it's an industry thing. Okay,
I wouldn't understand. I'm too new.
And now we're back. Since we've alienated our Christian listeners,
welcome back if you're still here.
Yeah, please go on our social medias and comment about how hateful we've been.
Any gripes you have.
Yeah, we'd love to hear your opinion about Jesus. Mm-hmm. And our second Moscow Mule. Cheers again.
The chili really is popping.
Yeah, that's some chili popping ginger.
It's an odd, it's not great. I won't buy it again.
Yeah, it's fine for this one.
It would have been good would have been the tequila mule.
Yeah, that would have been a little.
They would have spiced it up some. I thought about the tequila mule, and then my stomach was like,
nah, bro.
For whatever reason, tequila sounds like the worst thing to drink when your stomach's.
Well, when you were
up.
like, I'm not feeling great today, and we're just gonna. I was like, yes, please, thank you. Because I'm not feeling 100% either. But this first half of this podcast was one of my favorites that we've done.
It was good. And when I got here, I was like, I'm nervous. This isn't going to go well. And today's the day I snuck in on you a little stone and you didn't notice. So.
Oh, not yet.
But eating beforehand also helped a little bit, kind of quell that. I didn't smoke a bunch, but I was like,
if I did notice anything, you went ravenous on the what did you call them? A cottage sandwich? What are they called?
they're it's like little sliders, little ham sliders.
Yeah, but you had a name for it. You called it like a aubergine or a Westboro sandwich or something.
Well, I said they're Hawaiian rolls.
You said something else though. You said like
there was a name for it. I don't remember because I was high. I just wanted to calm my stomach, and weed helps calm your stomach. And I was like, I eat an edible. I don't know. Sometimes you eat an edible and you're like kind of high. Yeah. And sometimes you're like, Uh-oh.
Oh, I'm fucking too high.
Like when you go to somebody's house, we'll call him Bob Bisopef, and he gets you to do a couple dabs before you leave. And he lives on Wilmington Island Road.
The dab before walking out of the door.
Yeah, and so I went to the grocery store and swung by to like drop something off or whatever, and I backed in because he lives on Wilmington Island Road. It's hard to get out, so I wanted to be careful and not get, when I'm coming out there. If I had not backed in, I would have been stuck in his driveway. I'd have had to go back in the house with my groceries and been like, I got to put Nicole's stuff in the fridge. I'm here for a little while. I'm going to hang out on your couch and watch Jeopardy with you because I can't walk. And I like drove home 10 and 2. It's like 8:30, and I'm like, oh, God.
And when you got here with the fucking... The ham package really put it on you because you ripped
yeah, I was having a tough time. Like the Ziploc on the ham package, I ripped it like 3/4 of the way. It was like, and you handed me scissors. I'm like, I can do this, and then the other part ripped.
Another part ripped
and
off.
I'm like,
okay, fine, I'll use the scissors
because I bought the ham sliders and was like, I'm gonna also add another piece of ham to them to thicken it up.
You called them fucking something, and now it's killing me.
There's a name. I didn't call them a funeral sandwich, but that's kind of what they are.
Yeah, basically something like that.
Because it was just cheese and ham, and I had to put a stupid amount of mayonnaise on there.
Whenever people bring up things like that, like I've seen, they'll put them in like a casserole dish. Mm-hmm. So they'll cut all the Hawaiian rolls in half or whatever. Put the bottom half down. Put the meat and the cheese and shit on there.
Yeah, that is the shit.
And then they put the top on, and then they cover it with some sort of liquid like butter and herbs and whatever. And then they bake the goddamn thing.
Homemade Crystal Burgers.
Oh, right.
Barreau.
But with the...
I have with the Hawaiian rolls. That's how you make it. You make it like a casserole, and they are fire. The thing is, though, if I make those and I don't have a group of people to help me eat every one of them, I will.
You're going to, yeah.
And because I'm a stoner sometimes, so I'll smoke and then you eat and then you're like, all right, I'm good, and then you smoke some weed and you're like, I can fit 2 more of these in me because they're small enough to trick you. And you're like, maybe 3,
just one more.
And then you eat 3 and you're like, I hate my life. Everything's hell.
But then
I'm sweaty.
15 minutes later, you're like, I could do one more.
I could do one more. Yeah. And you heat them up various different ways based on how how ravenously hungry you are at the moment. Because you're like, all right, I'm gonna put this back in the oven for a minute.
I can wait to fucking oven this up.
We talked about this with pizza rolls. How do you do pizza rolls? And I put 4 in the microwave. I put the oven. I get the ones in the oven going, but then I throw a few in the microwave because I gotta have them.
It's an appetizer.
Yeah, it's some that are gonna be good and not great, and then some that are gonna be great later.
But the trick with the fucking microwave ones is after you pull them out of the microwave, go ahead and split them in half.
Yeah.
So then all the steam
and wrap them in a
out.
little bit of a wet paper towel or
Steam
put some moisture in there.
Good. Like the
you don't like to eat it and go, oh,
yeah, exactly.
Like an idiot.
You won't taste anything for the rest of the fucking night.
But guaranteed, if you're stoned and you're doing that, you're gonna do it at least twice.
Yeah, no, I know.
And be like, oh, it's so hot.
Can't wait. And then the first one burnt just as bad, and you think after another minute or so that the next it is still the exact same.
No, it might be hotter somehow.
Yeah.
So at work when food. Sometimes there's an extra dish. It gets put out for us to eat, and the other Wednesday night, escargot is put out. And so if you don't eat something right when it's there, you're gonna walk away and come back, and all that's just gonna be gone. Because the girl that put it down was like, "Oh, I'll go run the rest of this food and come back and eat that." Yeah, right. And me and Saran, the GM, by the time she got there's 8 pieces of escargot. She came back, there was 2. She's like, what happened? I'm like, you can't walk away from food. Yeah. Look, if you had told me I'm going to eat this, go run food. But the first one I ate, I'm like, it's so hot. It's so hot. And he looks at me and goes, I bet, and does the same fucking thing. And he's like, because you got to get it down now. If you don't eat it now, it ain't going to be there when you come back. So you suffer through the pain just to get that little bit of garlicky, buttery goodness. You've eaten escargot before, right? Maybe I'll make that for us one time.
I just like the snails are fine, but I like the buttery pastry.
It's just look, I tell people when they're like, I don't want to make escargot, I'm like, it's a vehicle for butter and garlic.
Yeah.
You're eating butter and garlic, but so you don't look like a weirdo spooning spoonfuls of butter and garlic on your bread. Here's a little turd to put on there too.
Exactly.
Because they don't have a terrible flavor.
No, it's just a texture thing. But I like some things that are chewy texture. I don't like the cartilage texture of certain things, like certain parts of a chicken. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you eat oysters and other mussels and clams?
Yeah. Texturally, most things are fine to me except unexpected crunches.
Yeah. Okay. Or unexpected gooey. When you bite something and then in the middle of it is you didn't think either a sea urchin.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You chew through it and you're like, it exploded. It's like it shoots in your mouth.
Sea urchin took me a little bit to get along.
It's okay. I'll eat it to be polite.
But some people fucking love that shit.
Yeah, I don't. I'll eat it.
But see, I love any kind of roe, like big fat salmon roe.
Yeah. I like the bigger roe more than the smaller roe.
Little tiny flying fish roe.
I love oysters. They're one of my favorite foods. I'll eat until I hurt. But mussels and clams, they're okay.
Yeah.
Escargot higher than mussels.
Well, the thing is, you have to cook mussels and clams pretty much, like past the point where I like
the texture of an oyster. Yeah. I like an oyster warm.
I like an oyster warm, but not opened.
I want the fight.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I'll eat them raw, but I like them just a little warm.
No, understood. But if you're at a oyster roast, like
as we do down here, I like to do oyster roasts.
But I like them to throw them on to the plate to the metal thing with the burlap sack over.
Yeah. Do it old school.
Just warm them where they don't open yet. So they're still whole oysters, and they're
just lightly steamed.
Lightly steamed, but not open.
But some people want you to cook. Yeah, they want
cook them to boogers.
And then I'm like, this is not what
That's pointless. Yeah, that's like because like imagine when you take a big hunk of fucking beef and you age it for a little bit, you lose 25% of its weight by its moisture, but you've made the meat a little more succulent,
right,
and more dense and more beefy flavored. With an oyster, the longer it's under heat, the less valuable it is.
The less it tastes like an oyster. Yeah. The more it tastes like
the less it loses the essence of what a fucking oyster is.
And this escargot's kind of the same way. You can't cook the crap out of it; it turns into a booger. But like some people have only had oysters like that. So when they're like, oh, I don't like them, I'm like, try them this way and see if you like them. Now I love oysters, but I also I'm the guy that lays out like 5 saltines. I put my cocktail sauce on each saltine.
Do you do that for every oyster?
Like 70% of them, maybe, because that slows me down from just powering through them.
Sure, yeah.
Like the first couple are just going right down.
See,
if there's good liquor in there,
right.
But I almost always have to have horseradish in every bite, no matter what. But then I go with the cocktail sauce, so I'll like open up, because sometimes you open an oyster and like the shell is fucking deceived you. It's like it's the size of like half your foot, and you open it up and you're like, what are you doing there, little buddy?
What? Did you sneak in here and kick the other guy out?
Yeah. So then I put that down, and I'm like, I'll add one more oyster to this. So I make sure the saltine is covered in oyster.
I do the variety pack for myself, just like we were talking about the variety packs of cereal earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll do one. I'll do just lemon on it. Nice. And then the next one I'll do horseradish and hot sauce. And then the next one I'll do nothing.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I do that a little bit of variety.
But it's rare that I use the cracker, though.
I like the cracker.
Because if I do the cracker...
But just saltines. I don't want club crackers with my oysters.
Yeah. Just
sweet.
Saltines, yeah. But the more crackers I eat, the more fucking beer or liquor I'm going to end up drinking because I'm drying my mouth out.
Sometimes I need the padding in there.
No, I got you.
Because, I mean, I don't know the last time you went to an oyster roast where you didn't have a few.
No, exactly, yeah. More than a few.
And when I do them, it's usually for a football game where I tend to over-consume alcohol due to self-induced stress because it's something I cannot control at all and should not be this invested in. But, it's game week, baby. It's game week, so it's coming.
Well, every week after the break, we normally do a Karen of the week.
It's the Karen of the week. It's the Karen of the week.
Oh, shit. That was good. Okay. I bet it's going to line up right perfectly.
I mean, I've got that Karen time. It gets stuck in my head.
I was going to say, after you do it like 5 or 6 times, the timing just sits there in your head.
Well, and like, I'll sing it at my dog, like, it's the Dooley of the week. Every song I sing I throw not rap songs, but any song that can be sung, I sing at my dog.
One of my best girlfriends in Austin, she had a dog, Bubba, R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. Bubba.
But
Bubba's
anytime I was around him, every song was a Bubba song. So like, Casey and JoJo. Bubba, 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 Bubba.
Oh, yeah, the beginning of songs?
I can never find another Bubba sweeter than
the same thing. Because I play music for him when I'm gone. I do like 107.9, so it's like, some
What is that,
classics.
The River?
No.
Oh, I don't know.
Like yacht rocking my dog. I like yacht rock.
I don't listen to terrestrial radio. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sorry.
I pay for Pandora so that I can have it at work.
That makes sense.
And I pay for Spotify as well because
then you can just find what you want exactly when you want it. Except for Kanye West.
Somebody, so Bobo, our autistic dishwasher, he's been running off of fucking like the unpaid Pandora and the unpaid Spotify. So they're in the kitchen.
There's an unpaid Spotify?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It just has commercials all the time?
Yeah. It's just like the Pandora is like every third song. All right, so if you let it play and it let it do its suggestions for you, way less commercials. But if you're like in a song and you start searching for another one, before they let you hear that song, they're going to
so it's like YouTube kind of.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. So, but he gets to pick the playlist like 2 nights a week when he's working, but he's always been running off of these fucking ad heavy.
So you're like, don't know.
No, Heather came in, one of our owners, she was like, come here, give me your fucking phone. And she put her credit card in and she was like.
And she paid for it?
She's like, but she was like, look, I'm going to get this first month, but you give me $10 a month now.
Yeah.
Like, all right. It's the best thing that ever happened to him.
You're like, oh, thank God. But he loved it.
I don't have to hear it back there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're on the outside. You don't have to hear his.
But yeah, and
what is his choice of music?
So he runs the gamut. Like he loves like some pretty great shit.
Yeah.
But he also loves like I walked in the other night and I swear I heard like Wagon Wheel, Margaritaville, and then like the terrible country music that's like young white dudes trying to like be like hip hop.
Yes.
Like
yes,
Georgia Florida Line, shit like that.
Yeah, yeah.
He likes the super, and then he'll sprinkle in a little late '80s, early '90s magic country song when like the golden era of
country I prefer as well.
My opinion of the golden era of country, besides like Hank Williams Sr. and shit
Garth
like
Brooks,
that.
the murderer,
and murderer Garth Brooks.
That's what it was.
But he'll but he'll put there'll be a couple like the Neon Moon, I don't hold it how and I'm fucking your mom on the neon moon.
And then it'll go to like rap country.
And then it goes to like, yeah, me and my brothers are Georgia Florida line, and we like digging trucks and doing fucking lines. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's the exact lyrics on that.
Okay.
But
anyway. Sorry, all you Georgia Florida line fans or whatever it's called, Georgia Line, Florida. I don't know the name of the band.
Jorba Florba Glime, and but so I have a Darren of the week.
Okay.
Here's the thing, though. Up until so.
We forgot the important thing. Our care of the week is brought to you by Grant Nelson, who did not die in New Orleans from Hurricane Ida, thank goodness. He lives north of Lake Pontchartrain. Shout out to Grant whenever you get power back to listen to this, because he doesn't have electricity, he's a generator running on gas, but a limited amount of fuel. I did inform him there was fuel in his car. And I was like, if you need more gas, siphon it out of your vehicle. Yeah. But there's no power anywhere in that county. Or his parish, rather, doesn't have any power, nor do 900,000 people.
But during the tragedy, he has been talking to a lady on Bumble.
Talking to a lady. He met a lady on Bumble. She's a doctor. And so,
But now she's a doctor without...
Now she's a doctor without not anything, borders.
Not borders,
her
but
entire house flooded, full loss.
Yeah.
She had to get rescued. Unfortunately, this poor lady, whose name I don't know, so we'll call her Bumble Lady.
Yeah.
But they've talked a bunch. So this has actually brought them closer. A hurricane
out of a tragedy.
May come love, or at least Grant getting to go to church and finger or something.
He's like, I got the perfect church for you.
The Jesus three-way coming tonight, baby.
This girl that I know that lives in New Orleans, I saw her the other day, Saturday. And I was like, hey, she was like, it's crazy. I went she went on a camping trip. And then she just couldn't go. She was like, she didn't necessarily know that the storm was going to get there.
Oh, so she didn't prepare anything.
She was already leaving New Orleans.
Well, she was gone, but when there's a hurricane, we grew up here, so there was I had a list of things I did every hurricane to prepare the home for just in case the worst thing happened. And based off the strength of the hurricane, you would do different things.
Yeah.
And so,
and we would take videos of the house.
Yeah, videos of all the stuff, all your valuables and stuff, and like 1 year, we put all of our photo albums in Rubbermaid containers and sealed them, so then forever they were like that.
Yeah.
Things to make sure when you came home, if a tree went through your window, your stuff was, bring all the stuff downstairs, upstairs. It couldn't get wet. Raise the mattresses
flooding
up.
is the most problem, especially down here. Because we had the one hurricane. I can't remember if it was Matthew or the one other than that.
Matthew was trees. Irma was water.
Right. Okay. So Irma was just power didn't necessarily go out everywhere, and it wasn't like
on Tybee it was out, but I mean
it wasn't it wasn't a crazy storm, but there was fucking high water.
I sat on Rob and Chris's back porch on 2nd Avenue because Travis stayed with us too. 8 of us stayed over there. And so I got up early because everybody else stayed up later than normal. So I got up early and cooked breakfast of ramen noodles because we had no electricity by this point already. Yeah. And we had a generator, 2 window units downstairs. I fell asleep upstairs, woke up covered in sweat. But
that's the worst part about losing power down here.
I kind of got up and was like, I'm going to watch the tide come in and just see how bad it is. And he was like, your car will be fine in my yard because we're high up here. There was about 45 minutes of me staring at the water on my car tire being like, I can't do anything about this.
Mine got almost to my door and I was like, holy, because I thought I was parked at a pretty high place. The thing was, with the house that we lived in, we were on the top floor, so that was fine, but I just kind of forgot about my car down there.
And you stayed at the house?
And that was the one, that was the floody one. You know what I mean?
Irma.
And so I went down and I was, middle thigh high.
It was flooded bad over by your house. We drove around afterwards. Your house was rough over there.
Yeah. So I had to move. So I moved my car over to the park or whatever. But
Yeah, so
it was just a lot of water.
Irma was like, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be at my house. Like we only got like 12 inches of raised water, but like it was. Thank God nothing. But Matthew was the tree destroyer because tornado went through my neighborhood.
Well, yeah, there's a giant like 200-year-old fucking pine tree at the park next to where we were, and it just got completely fucking demolished.
Our neighbor 2 doors down had 50 pine trees gone.
Oh wow!
And 0 hit his house.
Yeah. Well, did anything happen?
Only 6 hit his neighbor's house.
Oh wow! Wow.
Yeah, hit Lewis's house. So
what happened to what happened to your boy's house? Grant.
He's fine. He's on the second floor. He said the only thing happened is his toilet backed up. Water started coming out of the toilet into the house in his master bathroom. So there's no windows in the majority of master bathrooms in an apartment. Yeah. So he was like in there with a cup trying to scoop water out and throw it into like the sink in the bathtub to not let it get to his carpet in his living room.
Oh, right.
That was probably the worst thing. He said it was the worst night of his life, but that was the worst part of it was like that kept happening. So he had to, then you have that paranoia it's going to happen again. So you keep going back in there. He didn't sleep all night. I talked to him and he was like out with his dog, but no power, generator running sparingly, but he's alive. And thank God he's not in New Orleans proper where things are much, much worse.
Yeah.
But the Cajun Navy is there, so. Do you not know about the Cajun Navy? No, I found out today. It's a volunteer group of guys that ride around in boats. And you can like tweet at them. They follow like there's somebody at like a headquarters somewhere.
Yeah.
Monitoring all social media, and then they're spread out enough to where they can use walkie-talkies. They have like 2-mile walkie-talkies to tell them what's going on.
And they'll dispatch them where to go.
So that where to go, so you can go save you. So like if you get stuck somewhere, you can tag the hashtag Cajun Navy save me with your address. Because like some local New Orleans rapper no one's ever heard of had posted like, help me, I'm at my grandma's house in this area, and then my phone's on like 7% battery. Dude was stuck, and like his phone died. So somebody through the internet figured out where in the fuck his grandmother lived by figuring out his real name, his girlfriend's real name, his mom's real name, and his grandma's real name, and sent the Cajun Navy to save this dude.
So it's just like rednecks.
They were on their roof when they got saved
no
too.
Shit.
Because they had gone first floor, second floor, attic, and then had to get on the roof with like grandma.
Was homegirl that Grant was talking to? Was she on her roof? Like
she was on the first floor. She was on the first floor. Total loss. She got outside, I guess, and they had like she'd call something like the water's rising here, like I need help.
Yeah.
And
but she had cell phone service.
She had cell phone service, so she was able to get somebody from the hospital to come get her.
Oh no shit!
And so they took her back to where she works at the hospital.
Damn,
because she's a doctor. Go
Grant. Well done, Grant.
So she'll, fortunately for her, will probably be able to repair faster than most, but. You live in a bowl, your house is going to flood.
Right, exactly, yeah.
I mean, 25% of the people whose houses were destroyed during Katrina, which was 16 years ago yesterday, didn't rebuild. They just moved away.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Over 450 miles away, I think is what the thing said. Like, some people moved dramatically farther inland. Cause
do you remember they were called, like, they were fake refugees?
Yeah. They would do FEMA stuff. And
yeah, because there's like a thing, and if like you were from New Orleans or whatever, you could apply for housing in like Colorado and shit. Like that.
Or you could get like football tickets or something. Yeah, they hook you up with stuff.
A lot of people were like,
I'm from New Orleans.
Yeah, exactly. And they would live at like this one like couple. They had been in Colorado for like 3 years getting
the free
housing.
shit.
Yeah.
And then got busted finally. That's some dirty shit.
Yeah,
you took the house from somebody that probably needed it.
That's exactly what you did. You took a house from someone who
you screwed someone whose life was ruined.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks.
You're cool. That's fine. That's a fucking Karen and a Darren.
That's a Karen and Darren that probably believed in Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Jesus was real.
Jesus wants me to have.
Jesus was real. Yeah. I just don't think he could like.
Why didn't he park the Levee C then? Come on.
I know. Why? Look, Jesus will keep me safe from COVID. Yeah, right. He didn't send me masks, doctors, and a vaccine. He sent me horse dewormer.
So, on a lighter note, I guess my Darren.
Sorry. I'm not mad at you, Jesus. It's your people.
You're okay, Jesus. We're gonna have that 3-way.
Jesus is my homeboy.
So this I was working. So up until Saturday, I was like, I don't have a fucking Karen yet. I was like, this week on the podcast, I am gonna say fuck the Karens and the Darrens, and I'm gonna give something positive going.
Yeah, okay. And then
but oh no,
wild Darren appears.
Oh no.
That's I'm working 3 days a week right now, 4 some weeks, but super slow. Everyone's gotten cut a shift, and like my boss told me, like if you want your 4, I'll give them to you. And I was like, you know what, give them to this guy. I'll take Fridays for the rest of the month. I won't work, and then give them every other Thursday to my buddy James, and so that way he can get the money, and like I make enough on the days I'm working, and I have other avenues of income. I'm okay. Support them come season. I want my I want my shit back.
I'm getting them back.
And not having Thursday nights off because it's opening night for movies. I know there's like a show on Tybee I could go to sometime maybe or something.
Yeah, maybe we'll see it. We'll see if anyone ever shows up. I had a lot of friends that said they were going to be there, but they didn't. So anyways,
I was there in spirit with Jesus.
Anyways, it was me and Jesus at the outside bar on Sunday, and this kid came up. He was probably like 22 or so, and so you can tell when people have been at a table for a little bit. And like Tragic Mike hasn't gotten to him yet, or one of the servers hasn't gotten to him yet, and they sneak up to the bar and they're like, "Hey, what's up, man? Do you think I could just grab some food from you?" I was like, "Yeah, are you at a table?" He goes, "No." What? I was like, "Look, if you're at a table, I'll promise I'll get the person to come over." He's like, "No, man. I'm just gonna get the food. I'm just gonna get the food right here. What's the big deal?"
I'm gonna stand right here and eat this food.
So then he goes, "Well, could I just get two orders first? I promise I'll get alcohol." I was like, "I don't give a good goddamn if you get alcohol or not.
Yeah.
I don't care. Drink all the water you want."
Busy day?
Yeah, it was pretty busy.
It was nice.
So yeah, it was super nice. And like I only went through like 3 shirts, so that means a lot to me.
Hey,
yeah,
normally you're getting to 2 shirt season soon.
Right. So I was like, "Yeah, fuck it, I don't care, whatever." He was like, "I'll just wait right here for the food." I was like, "All right, man." I was like, "The kitchen's taking like 40 minutes because we were busy." I was like, "Food's taking like 40 minutes right now." So just to let you know, he's like, "Yeah, that's cool." So he orders it. I put it in there. I come back, and he was kind of like, you can tell when someone's like wants to ask you something, but they're not asking you. I was like, "Yeah, what's up, man?" He goes, "Hey, I just wanted to go ahead and pay for it real quick." I was like, "All right, cool."
That'll make it come faster.
Exactly. So now that I've paid for it, I can sit here and stare.
Yeah, it could be like, now I have a reason to ask where the fuck my stuff's at.
So then I always go, "You can just pay for it when it comes out." He's like, "No, I'm probably going to walk away." I was like, "Okay, that's fine." He gives me his card, pays me.
Better than ghosting you like you've been daring before.
Yeah, exactly. So he walks away for a second. About 3 minutes later, he comes back up, and I was like, "If this motherfucker asks for his food, I'm going to fucking spit on him." He did, and he goes, "Hey, man, I was just wondering, I'm at a table inside. If you could just bring that food to me when it comes out." I was like, "What table?"
What?
I was like, so literally where I am at the outside bar, he was literally at the polar opposite end of
He was in the back door?
He was in the back door at the back bar table.
Table 2 or whatever?
Table 3.
Table 3. So that's the farthest table in the corner under the TV?
Under the TV.
Under the Russ Neely TV?
Yes, possibly the furthest place for me
that is.
It is.
Unless you're in the parking lot or on the deck.
Down and I go, "I knew you were at a table." And he's like, "Hey." So his food. So I made sure when his food did come out.
Did he tip you well?
It was like a $12 tab. I think he gave me like $3 or $4, which is fine, whatever. Good. But still,
it's a long walk though.
But don't lie to me.
Why wouldn't you go to the? I wonder if he got denied inside.
I don't know, but he didn't get any booze from me. He got 2 waters and a wrap and a slice.
Because they got the booze inside. When he got back inside with the waters, they were like, "We got cocktails."
Maybe. So I made sure when his food came out to the outside bar
to not take it out there.
Yeah, well, no, I waited like at least 10 minutes so that it was like it had a good chill on it, and then I walked in.
You open it up and fan it a little bit.
He was trying to be like fucking, "Dude, man, you're the fucking best," and I was just like, I just walked away. I just turned my back to him, and I heard him go like he was expecting like some fucking adulation
for you to be like, "Yeah, we're cool. You can do it again."
Brother. I'll walk a fucking mile to get this fucking sliced cheese.
I'm not doing anything at the outside bar, which is why we have servers inside.
Oh, and guess what? By the time I fucking got back from that bar Fortnite trek all the way fucking back, I got 9 people there like, "Where you been? Where's the bartender? So how do you find the bartender around here?"
Those are great jokes. And there's probably someone behind your bar that's not the bartender.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and they're like, "I don't work here."
I'd at least be like, "What do you want?"
Yeah.
I'll tell him when he walks up.
And then he's like, "Hey, don't worry. I'm a local."
So
I know there should be a bartender back here. Yeah. Am I right? Right?
I'll know him when I see him. Get used to this face. You're going to be seeing me a lot.
Do you have a Karen besides 3 crosses, 1 nail?
3 crosses. The thing is, 3 crosses, 1 nail for Christ's sake. She was nice otherwise, and I didn't see it coming.
That's weird.
They didn't pray before the meal. That's never a good sign.
They didn't pray before the meal, but they left you a Jesus.
I didn't see her pray. Like some families, like
no. If you're
my first table on
meal,
Wednesday, best table I had all night. Like a probably mid 50s black couple. It was a woman's birthday. He was in the military, I think. He was definitely military. Super nice kids. They ordered some really nice. They were my favorite table I had in the last 3 weeks, probably.
Yeah.
But they held hands. and prayed. And that's usually not a good sign for the tip, but they tipped 25%. But I also had a really fun time with them.
Yeah.
They made my day better. Like, my day was going okay. I got there and I was like, hey, I told them, I was like, thank you guys for improving my day.
Were they hold hands under the table or elbows on the table?
Like this, hands. Crisscross. Hold the hands, each hand from one other person across.
I've seen people that do like they put both hands to the side and like sort of up.
What are they? They're welcoming Jesus on the table?
Yeah, I think they're.
Show me with my hands here.
Yeah, like this. They're just like that.
They hold the back of their hands together? They touch? Or are they doing like a COVID prayer?
Well, it's like and bring Jesus into our food.
Oh, okay.
Jesus, feed me this cheeseburger so that it may.
God is great. God is good. Let us thank him. I thought it was lettuce, like the fucking vegetable.
Yeah,
for
because
years.
it's food. You're praying.
You're praying about
food.
lettuce. So my Karen, who can't wait to come back, she said, which is great. So as her and her friend go in the bar, they come to my table. I always, not always, but sometimes when I'm not busy, I'll kind of be like, hey, how were they at the bar? Just because I want to know.
They've been waiting at the bar before they get
two women, younger than me, probably late 20s. And one of them's wearing a shirt that I'm sure when she stood up fit her great. But when she sat down, her titties were falling out, which she was attractive enough to where I was like, if a titty comes out, I'll be okay. So she spends the entire first 10 minutes like trying to get her shirt right, and when I approached the table, she covers her titties like I was just glaring at them because like I didn't notice it until she like did that.
So she made a thing out of it.
Yeah, because when she walked by, I was like, oh, that girl's kind of cute, but like I could hear her talking. I was like, oh, she's kind of bitchy, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
So I read the specials to him. I do it again. She asked me to do it again, do it all again. They don't not that long, whatever. They don't order, of course, any of the specials. Then my favorite question is. So look, there was a pandemic. I don't know if everybody knows about this, like a year and a half ago. So when people reopened, they didn't have all the supplies they needed, so they did a limited menu. We're on our third iteration of our menu to get back to where we started. Since this has happened, we've had the longtime chef leave and then another chef come and go. So things aren't super stable, so you can't expect to add back items we once had. So like we don't have a filet right now. We just have a New York strip. We don't have ribeye.
Oh, but it's still on the menu.
It's online.
I gotcha.
It's online.
I gotcha.
And the person who has the online website password is a disgruntled former employee. So guess what the fuck? He ain't giving up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He actually used to, he wasn't he was
the only admin?
He did our menus and our website for us. And him and the original GM that hired me were like best friends. When that guy got let go, we still used him for a little while. And then when our current GM came in, he was a bartender there. This guy used to come in the bar. His name was Bill. Fuck you, Bill. And he wouldn't tip the fucking bar staff for shit. So the bar manager became the GM. So he immediately cut off the menu thing, not knowing he was website admin. So we can't get in the website to change it. But so there's like three things that like we don't have crepes right now. So that's on there. And people always ask about the crepe for dessert or we had a seafood crepe for the meal.
Yeah.
And so I tell them, this is what was going on. So she asks about every fucking thing that's not on the menu. She's like, where's the crepe? I'm like, we don't have crepes right now. So she asks about, they're all big filling items. Then Karen and her friend, who was definitely the beta of the group because Karen's usually trying to take control.
Yeah.
And her order 2 appetizers and a salad. And 1 round of the 2 cheapest glasses of wine we've got. After they've asked me about 5 other wines, they tried 3 wines. Like, she was the one initiating all of this. She was taking control of the table. But she doesn't... the crepe is huge. The steaks are huge. And instead they get mussels, escargot, and they split our house maison salad, which is just salad and dressing. I'm like, do you want cheese on there? No, thank you. Salad comes out. Ooh, this is going to need some cheese. Y'all should put cheese on this. I'm like, I asked if you would like cheese.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I want some now. She's like, what kind do you have? So I'm like, you don't have a menu in front of you. You don't know how much cheese we got. I have 2. We have 9 cheeses.
Sure, yeah.
But she ain't getting no fucking... Karen, you ain't getting shit. I got blue cheese and goat cheese. Which one you want?
Right, yeah.
She's like, I mean, what do you have? You don't have anything else? I'm like, for the salad, I can offer you blue cheese or goat cheese. And just stare at her while she's holding her titties away from me.
Yeah.
You could at least throw me a nipple, Karen.
Hey, if she'd have shown you a nipple, you might have given her 4 cheese options.
Yeah, yeah.
The flaked
both?
Parmesan.
Yeah, I'd have put it on her nipples for her. But, and they slipped out. They weren't that great. Whatever.
Yeah.
But she proceeds to, I'm walking by, I drop their food off, not the salad, just the 2 appetizers. I'm going to go back and get the salad.
So that's their meal?
That's all they had.
Okay, gotcha.
They didn't even have a dessert. Oh, we're saving room for dessert, what she said. Yeah, you are. I'm sure, you skinny fuck. So I put down the first 2 things. Look, the mussels have like a lid on them to put the shells in. So I have to hold that kind of carefully with one hand. Escargot is bubbling.
Yeah.
The other hand, well, where are the salads? And I hold both my hands up and I'm like, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I'm going to go get the salad. I split it for you guys. Bring that. The cheese thing happens. And I'm like, so I come back by. I'm walking by the table. I've already asked how everything was. They're fine. I'm walking back by the table carrying 2 other plates. Sir, excuse me, sir. And I'm like, I kind of look at her, look at the plates, look at her.
You're looking at the plates, look at her, look at the plates, look at her.
I'll be right back. And I go put them down, and I'm walking back by to get the rest of this table's food. And she's like, excuse me, hello, you said you'd come back. I'm like, and I take a deep breath. I stop for a second. I breathe. I don't look at her. I grab the 2 plates, and then I stare at her all the way to the table. And her friend is, by this point, like, head down, semi-embarrassed. She fucking knows. So their bill is less than $60. I usually average about 60 a person. It's off season.
Right, yeah,
prices go down to about 45, 50.
But you knew right away that they were penny pinching because they were getting appetizers and a salad and the cheapest wine.
And didn't get any dessert.
Yeah.
They were so full.
I'm saving room.
But they wanted extra bread. Can we get some more bread? And I'm like, so when I give you bread, I give you X amount of bread. Next time you get bread, you get half that amount. Yeah. You get it again, I'll literally give you 2 pieces of bread. I'm like, here you go. Like, it's not an appetizer. Yeah. It's given, but it's not an app. And you need it with mussels and escargot.
Sure, but like,
so
don't abuse the bread system.
Can we split the tab? And I'm like, you're going to split a $60 tab? Now, they were grown enough women to have, they weren't in college.
You said late 20s, right?
Late 20s. They had their own life and money. She pays with an American Express, like, silver, platinum, metal card.
That sounds like a brick when it hits the table.
And I'm like,
Doink.
You couldn't either A, pick up your tab, or B, just use Venmo. It's not that it's a big deal for me to do it, but, like, really? $60? I get if it was $150.
Right, yeah.
And like,
or if you go, hey, this is going to be split.
Yeah, and it takes very little effort, but I still like.
No, but it's
I want to add to the pile of Karen fucking problems.
Of course, yeah.
Is this?
Yeah.
And she's like, and I wasn't real nice to her. I wasn't mean, but I wasn't nicer. I was very nice. I was overly nice to the friend because when you're a cunt, I'm gonna be nice to your friend Karen.
And I'm gonna make sure it's evident that I'm being nice to her.
Yeah, and she's getting things first. If you both want me, I'm talking to her.
She gets a smile from me.
Yeah, and then she didn't even almost show me a titty, Karen. So I bring the tab. Thank you so much. Everything was amazing. We cannot wait to come back. We're gonna ask for you when you come back. I'm like, oh, don't worry about that. We'll just take care of you wherever.
Really?
Yeah. And they came from the bar. Which, if you're gonna have 2 apps and a salad, you
do it at
probably
the bar.
Should stay at the bar.
Did they have reservations?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so they made reservations, went to the bar.
Had a round of cocktails. And then the table
What did they get from the bar, do you know?
No, I don't know, but she tipped me 15%. Her friend tipped 25%. Balance it out, thank you.
Karen, 15.
Karen, 15. Non-Karen, 25.
Right.
And at the bar, I went back afterwards and was like...
Of course you did.
Hey, so how are these... And she goes, oh, there's 2 bitches? I was like, all right. I was like, the other one seemed okay. She's like, no, she was just quieter. And I was like, okay. And our bartender's very nice. Melissa likes everybody.
It's so weird that, like, all right, you can be sort of forgiven up until you're, like, 25 because, like, you might have fucking student loans. You might be just fucking stupid. You might be an American.
Yeah, things just might not be going well for you.
Your parents might be well off, and they've sheltered you, and you don't know what the fucking real world is like.
Right.
So you penny pinch, and you don't understand that, like, a thriving economy is because you spend money just as much as you earn. You know what I mean? You don't understand those things. But if you're competent enough to get a reservation, show up early, and sit at the bar for a drink. Like, hey, I just want to be here whenever the reservation is
and to pronounce
ready.
Everything. She wasn't stumbling over French words.
Right, yeah.
Like, she was intelligent enough to have hopefully garnered that through life.
Yeah.
But I think she might have just been like a rich daddy's girl.
That's what I'm saying.
So she just didn't care.
Know, and she's just like, well, whatever.
He's a servant. I'll treat him like a servant.
Yeah, I don't want to spend that much money. What should I give him 15%? But then that's the weirdest part is then be like, we loved you so much. No, don't love me.
No, I went to the books and was like, all right, she didn't talk to the hostess and say anything. And like, I know her name. I have about 10 names cataloged in my head, and I'll forget after X amount of time. But like,
I'm faces.
Purse chair Karen lady has like notes. So I go through at the beginning of every shift. I go to the computer.
Oh, because you get to look at all your. You know who's coming in.
And the hostess will map out who's going where, and I'll be like, look, I want to wait on this person. I know them, put them in my section.
And you have seniority and tenure there, so you're like, hey, I get Fred, he's great.
Yeah, and like there's like Betty, the French lady, works only on Fridays. So when people that are her regulars come in, I'll take them usually. Just because I'm next on the. She's been there forever, but she only works one day a week.
And she's also French, right?
Yeah, she's French.
Yeah, so she's got certain clientele that fucking.
Yeah, and she's got friends that come in. So like, two of her regulars that have been there hundreds of times. These two older gay men.
They want to come in and speak France.
That are super awesome, nice guys. And one of them went to Georgia and is the biggest gay Georgia football fan I've ever met in my whole life.
They're all gay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a Georgia
Not
fan.
as gay as the gay turds.
Yeah, right.
Take that.
Take that, gay turds.
Sorry to all our Florida listeners for your stupid fanship. I'll apologize to Jesus, but not to Florida Gators. Fucking rotten whole town, dumpster fire.
And there was
but it's just weird. Like, so I'll go through the things and I'll look. So I'll look at notes. If someone's got a note, there's a certain like little thing that shows up by the name. So I'll look at all the notes.
Are they like color coded? Like, is there a red dot for like?
So there'll be like there's that for the celebration, birthday, anniversary, special event. People put special event. Date weekend with my wife.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, no shit. It's a fucking date. You're at this nice restaurant. You think, all
right. Birthday, anniversary, funeral, grandma's fucking
graduation.
Yeah, that's fine.
All cool.
First date night in 6 months.
Yeah.
No.
First, we just had kids last year. First time out without the kids.
I'm
like, I don't need to know this information about your life, but I'll see some notes. I'm a little diligent about making notes without customers, good or bad. Hey, this person's very particular about this item. Make sure you do this when you wait on them, so you don't have to have the problem I had.
And then that won't. And it's not because like you don't like them or something. It's like, hey man, like I understand. Like it's just like having an allergy or something.
Yeah.
Like I hate
people
mint.
put their allergies in there.
I hate fucking mint. So if I were to go into a place, I'd be like, hey, listen, before we even get started, if there's anything, if your lamb has any mint around it, like, just tell me and I won't get it. Because, like, people love mint with certain shit.
I'm not going to cry about it, but I also don't, you don't like mint juleps, huh?
No. I don't like anything with mint. I'll brush my teeth with mint. But that's it. So if I eat anything with mint, I feel like I'm brushing my teeth.
Why don't you get some Big Red toothpaste?
No, see,
cinnamon toothpaste?
No, see, that's the thing. I've tried orange toothpaste and cinnamon toothpaste and all that, but I like mint toothpaste.
Orange?
Yeah. Colgate made it an orange one time.
What is it?
I like mint
orange
toothpaste.
Juice and toothpaste, flavored toothpaste. It just tastes like complete.
I didn't even think about that, but yeah. And when I was a kid, I tried the bubble gum too. My mom was like, I'm sure he'll like this. And I was like, no, fuck that. Just give me the mint.
It tastes weird.
Just give me the mint.
I like the fresh breath feel of the mint.
Yeah. I like the astringency of the
I
mint.
switch. Like, I'll buy a 4-pack of toothpaste, but every time I buy one, I buy a different one.
Okay, so
I go baking soda and mint back and forth.
I have a system, just like when we were talking about the cereals earlier. If you have the variety pack, you save the normal.
You need to share this information with society. I don't eat a lot of cereal. I don't know the last time I had cereal.
But see, the last time I had cereal, I had the fucking variety pack because I was.
You don't know the 8-pack you get with the small boxes.
Walking through the grocery store, I saw the
General
fucking
Mills
8-pack,
or whatever
the fuck it is. And I saw the 8-pack, and so I was like, that's what I'm eating for the rest of the day. I was fucking hungover. It's like a couple months ago. And I'm proud of my
stoner food for a non-stoner.
I'm proud of myself for making such a stoner move without being a stoner. But so inherently with these variety packs of cereal, you're going to get a Rice Krispies with, just plain Rice Krispies. You're probably going to get either a Cheerios with not Honey Nut Cheerios, but just fucking flaccid Cheerios. Yeah. And you're going to get
the Lance Armstrong Cheerios.
And speaking of Jesus, you're going to get the regular fucking cornflakes because the reason Kellogg invented those cornflakes is because he didn't want to incite sexuality in people. So he wanted to give them the blandest like flake that there was. So the hack for the 8-pack of the variety cereals is
this is a life hack for sure here, guys.
So typically you're going to get Frosted Flakes and the vanilla platonic cornflakes. Mm-hmm. Save the cornflakes for the last bowl with the Frosted Flakes, and you fucking mix them together. And it's actually really nice because
it's not too sweet.
Frosted Flakes are too fucking sweet, right?
So I used to just put sugar all over them.
That's what I'm saying.
I would ruin them with sugar. I'll be like,
exactly. Yeah. And I've done honey before, I guess, back in the day. But when you got the variety pack,
did you do a $120 bottle of honey? My honey flakes of gold.
Man, I got expensive breakfast, man. Oh, what'd you get? Crab eggs Benedict? Yeah. Nah, I just put $120 worth of honey
on my cornflakes.
So then the other one is, so if you get regular Cheerios and Honey Nut Cheerios, you mix those together at the end. The only sort of unorthodox one, I think, is if you get Rice Krispies, just plain Rice Krispies, but you also have either Cocoa Pebbles or Fruity Pebbles in the same one.
Or Fruit Loops.
Or not Fruit Loops because those aren't the same size and texture.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
you get the Rice Krispies in
so the Fruity Pebbles and the Rice Krispies, they can commingle together and still have sort of the same.
And they'll snap, crackle in.
And they will pop. They will fucking pew, pew, pew. But Yeah.
That's a good. Like that was the one that I was like, ooh yeah.
But
you make chocolate Rice Krispies,
chocolate Rice Krispies,
or Fruity Rice Krispies,
because fucking Fruity Pebbles are basically just flattened Rice Krispies with chocolate on them.
If they're rice,
if they're
rice,
everything's rice. But so ever since we started the segment Adventures in EBT, I feel like I've been cursed because the first week, it happened, and I was like, this thing happened.
EBT happens.
EBT does happen. So then
that'll be our second shirt.
So I mentioned it. Yeah. Right. So I mentioned it on the podcast, and then the very next week, another adventure in EBT happened. So I talked about that last week. So then, literally, we recorded the podcast last Monday. The following Tuesday, I go to the Walmart over here on Whitmarsh Island. The Walmart. Over here on Whitmarsh Island. So downstairs in my bedroom, I have a coin jar.
Yeah.
Most of what I use the coins for is I have a king-size comforter, and there's no way it's fitting in my fucking little washing machine down here.
Yeah, yeah.
Luckily, we have a laundromat down here that's got giant industrial washers.
Yeah, I've used it before to wash all kinds of shit.
So I can throw the whole fucking comforter in there, and it'll get soap all over it, but it's a huge barrel or whatever. Well, over time, my jar fills up, so I go to the coin store.
For all the change you get at work.
Yeah, we don't get any change at work.
Thank Jesus.
Thank Jesus for that. He really did save us by making all our things on a dollar amount. So when my jar fills up, typically it's $80 to $100. That's the size of the jar.
It's just works out that way.
So I was like, I'll go, it got full. So I was like, I'm going to go dump it at the coin store. So I go into the Walmart, and at the Walmart, the coin store is next to the service or the customer service place or whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Right when you walk in on the right, you have like the customer service. You can return your items or whatever. Yeah, you can use your coins.
It's the same place where returns happen.
Where 10 to 30-minute returns happen.
Yeah, exactly. It's where the best people that go to Walmart go.
Yes.
It's where the top shelf.
It's where you've got headphones if you're going in there.
And I had headphones for the first little piece of it. So I go in, and I'm almost done getting the jar dumped out because it's got a little levy.
You gotta bang
so you
it
dump
around.
some in, lift it, dump some in, lift it, dump some in.
Try to guess where it's going.
There's a guy in line right when I get there. He's pretty quick though. He was returning like the weirdest shit, like juices. Like he was returning the weirdest shit.
Can you return food?
Yeah, I mean it was unopened juices.
Yeah, but you could stick a needle on the side of that thing.
I guess you could. But I think Walmart, just like Amazon, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
you can return it and they'll just toss it.
Yeah,
I don't know though. Anyways, so I'm over there. It's taking a little bit of time. He gets done, and I turn around, and I'm almost done, and I glance over to the door, and
checking out if any hot chicks are coming in Walmart.
I almost got lucky. A fat lady and her fat fucking husband and her 3 fat and 1 skinny kid walk in the door.
Must have been a friend of one of the fat ones.
And they already had a buggy from the outside. They didn't walk in and grab the buggy. They were coming through the opening doors with the buggy.
They're on a mission.
Ready to shop, I would imagine.
Got some things to do. Right? Need the buggy, right?
Go ahead and get this buggy. It was right next to the car. We're going to go in and do some Walmart shopping. So they come in. I'm looking back. I don't think nothing of it. I'm almost done. And then I turn, and they're heading into the customer service area. I was like, this is probably bad news. Now, at the Walmart, you have to get your gift card or your cash out of the Coinstar shit from the customer.
PSA, if you want to go to Walmart and use their Coinstar, you can get just a gift card. Yeah, they'll give you the full amount, but if you do it the other way, you lose like 11%.
I think it's at like 9 or 11%, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So
some whole number.
Yeah, it was some very whole number. So I get it, and I turn around, and they're in fucking line. And I was like, oh, this is probably going to be something quick because they don't have anything to return.
Right, they have no items with them. Maybe return one of those kids.
Yeah, right.
We bought condoms here. They didn't work.
So the kid, before I'm even done and getting away from the Coinstar machine, the kid has got his fingers in the return.
He's trying to see if you dropped any coins. Well, at least he's industrious.
And I was like, yeah, and he was wearing a knife.
How old is this kid?
He was probably like 12, maybe.
A little Huck Finn action going on.
He was the tall, skinny one. So he's going to marry the fat lady when he gets older.
Yeah.
And then the other 3 kids were little fat shits. You know what I'm saying? All right.
I don't get why you got fat kids and they're like 10. Like, what are you doing?
How do you already have fat kids? It's because you could buy all your food at Walmart, probably.
Yeah, and you overfeed them.
Yeah. You're like, shut up and eat. Go to fucking sleep.
Yeah, go to sleep. Don't play on your phone. Don't go outside. It's dangerous out there.
So they come in, and I turn, and I'm looking. I still got my headphones on, and I'm looking at them, and I was trying to figure out what the fuck they could be doing. So she pulls out this really large. It looked like a CVS receipt.
Oh, nice.
Almost, right?
Okay.
So I was like, what the fuck could that be? For a moment, they do Western Union over there as well.
Yeah, and that takes a few.
And that takes a while, too. But I was like...
And they sound like the Western Union type.
But I was like, maybe... So now...
Because where are you in life if you don't have any other method of getting money than Western Union?
That's
you don't
crazy.
Have
I'm
Venmo,
surprised
PayPal,
it's a thing. I'm
anything?
surprised it's a thing. So I look over, and now I'm beginning to get intrigued because I'm like, all right, so I pop one of my earbuds off to start listening.
Yep.
The husband is over
you pop
there.
it off and let it hang? I pop it and hang it over my ear.
So I let it hang that time, but sometimes I'll hang it over.
I do that so like if someone walks up,
like,
I can be like, I can give him my good ear.
Yeah. So the husband is sitting over there, and for the next 30 minutes of the time that transpired, he will not look away from his phone. And I think it was half out of like embarrassment. He just doesn't want to be a part of it. The kids are running around, they're doing whatever, being fat. And the lady's being fat, and
They weren't trying to go to Subway, huh?
The Subway's gone now.
Oh, it's gone?
Yeah. So I've got both earbuds off now, and I'm listening. So she's got an Alabama driver's license. Mm-hmm. She keeps reading her address like 100 times.
Wait, a fat woman with a fat husband and 3 fat kids from Alabama?
3 fat kids and 1 skinny kid.
I'm still running with skinny kid as a friend.
Oh, you might be right.
They were on vacation together. They had
from Alabama. Yeah.
From Alabama.
Let's go to Georgia.
The knife. That explains the knife, though.
That's right. Yeah. So the husband won't fucking look up. She's given him 4 email addresses at this point. Now that I've started listening, she's read the address off. She's done da-da-da-da-da. She pulls the piece of paper out again, and I notice if you've ever applied for a credit card or gotten a credit card, on the slip of paper, the interest rate is in a different ink and a different font and a different thickness.
So you can't say you didn't see it.
Right. It's very evident. And it's a certain font and a certain like fucking thickness that triggers me to like I've seen it before, and it's at 28-point-something%.
Jesus fucking Christ! The theme of the episode is Jesus. Apparently, holy shit! That's more than a quarter.
That is more than a quarter. What they were doing were applying for a Walmart credit card before they started shopping, right?
Because they had no money.
It turns out they had no fucking money. So I was like,
because the fat kids had all their money.
I was like, this is really fucking happening. I was like, because it took me a long. I was like, why does she keep reading her email address? Is she trying to like cash in a gift card? Like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, she's trying to prove that she already got approved.
Possibly.
Okay, but she had the receipt from before.
Well, here's the thing. So the lady kept being like, no, that's not it. That's not. So it seemed like that they were getting something confused within the clerical stuff.
So it's like she'd applied for one elsewhere.
Possibly. So finally, the lady goes, "Oh, there it is." The cashier. She goes, "Oh, there it is." Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I see the information. Tap, 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 tap. You've been declined.
For a 28%
28% interest Walmart credit card.
How bad does your credit have to be to not only be able to get a 20? Because I could get 13, 20% credit cards
I think
tomorrow.
anyone walking off the fucking street could get a 28% credit card from any fucking way.
I mean, jeez.
So here's the thing.
That's crazy.
So then, all right, so now at first I was like, fuck these fat people. And the husband is not looking up from...
He knows it's coming.
He knows what it is. So...
He's playing...
All of a sudden,
Candy Crush and just ignoring it.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever. He wasn't answering emails. He wasn't quoting anyone on a
you
fucking
didn't
job.
think he was trading stocks?
I don't think he was on Robinhood.
He wasn't day trading in there?
He wasn't talking to Charles Schwab.
Checking his crypto.
Right, exactly. He might have had Doge. But
4.
So I hated these people, right? Meanwhile, I look behind me. There's probably 13 people in line behind me now.
That are all like...
And I'm hearing them huff and puff, and I was like... So I start
and you're stuck.
I can't do anything. I'm like, I can't fucking... I was
you
like,
can
I'm
leave
in it
and
now.
come back, but like, it's no.
I'm like, I'm in it now.
Yeah. So plus when you're the next one in line, no matter what happens, you're like, I could come back and I could be number 12 behind this same shit.
Behind this same shit. So who fucking knows? So my anger turns to sadness because the lady turns around and she tells the little Pudge daughter. She goes, well, we just can't get it today, honey. And they walked out the fucking door.
Damn.
So
they had nothing.
These fucking people came in, and their whole whole possibility of them buying anything was on getting
predicated on that credit card.
An ultra high interest card, which they are lucky they didn't fucking get, because they'd be in the hole for that fucking 28%.
They're probably already in the hole so much they can't get it
for the next 100 fucking years.
So, side question: did they leave the cart where it was?
They rolled the cart back out.
Oh, okay.
You know why? That was her walker. She had to lean on the fucking.
Yeah,
you seen the lean.
My grocery store lady I heard about a week or two ago. The same.
Oh
shit.
yeah,
lean on her.
Even if you don't have.
Now I'd lean on the cart, but for a different reason.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Do you know what I do?
No, what do you
When
do?
I come out of that store, I do the coast. You get on the cart, I feel on the back of it, and I ride.
Does it?
I ride out.
Who does it?
Every time I do it, I go whee, and it's so much fun.
How much do you try and pop the littlest wheelie?
It depends on what I've got going on and how my left knee feels. Because I got a bad knee, so I can't risk it getting torn up at the grocery cart.
All right, I don't do big shops a lot, but if I do a big shop where I need a big cart, I'll distribute weight accordingly so that when I do get outside and I do, that I can pop.
Put all the frozen and milk close to you.
Just a
I do. You got to do a little bit of a wheelie.
Just a touch. When a dragster
every other
takes
time
off?
I do enough wheelie to where I have to put my foot down. So I'm like, I'm getting it up. And also, it's nice because the onlookers are like, they look at you like they're judging, but then they go. They smile. They're like, that's kind of cool.
That's cool. I'm going to do that.
I don't like roll by a handicapped guy doing it or anything.
Look at me. I'm choosing to roll when I don't have to. What a dick, Clint.
Not rolling by Karen or fat kids like, look what I can do because I won't tip over.
Well, that was good, man.
Grocery store Karen.
You know what? Jesus saves. Thank you guys for listening.
Jesus didn't save EBT lady, though.
I think Jesus did save her because now she's not in debt for a 28%.
Look, I'm going to go out on a limb and say she's already in debt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And they probably would have given her like
what do you think your credit
in
score is if you can't get a 28% loan?
I think
4?
Well, she stole someone's identity, but she didn't realize that that identity was fucking shot.
Yeah. That would be that. Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
That's a good point. Or she could have stolen her husband's identity because she's stupid.
And he's sitting there like, I hope this works. I hope this works.
Yeah, it's probably what he was doing. Hey, man, I might be in jail in a little bit.
Oh, right, yeah. He was fucking. Oh, he keeps a lawyer on rotation.
That's why they got the kids with him. So it's harder to arrest him.
Damn, bro. That's why they borrowed the one skinny kid.
Yeah, they're not all fat. He needs us. He might make it.
We were going to feed him this time. We feed each of them once a week.
They each get their own week of food, of corn dogs and sadness.
Hit us up on Instagram or Facebook or even YouTube if you want to talk about Jesus and how he saved us all.
Yep, and how much you don't like us talking about Jesus.
Yeah. Please tell us. Please tell us everything.
Any complaints you have about the show,
please put it in a comment on
one of our things, and we'll address it there.
Always put a comment.
We answer all complaints.
Yes, everyone.
Has been a lot because
Hey, pretty good.
How we doing?
Or nobody listens. So subscribe to us on YouTube.
So y'all too listening.
Paxton Eugene. We're at Anchor. Leave us a voice message. We're at PO Box 191, Tybee Island, Georgia 31328. If you want to send us any cool shit, and we will see y'all next week. Au revoir, bonsoir.